Okay, so just finished watching the preseason game. We're not going to be talking about the preseason game in this video. I want to talk about an insider report that I found very, very interesting and other news that probably relates back to the Habs. But hey, they won 4-2, so there you go. Hopefully they can continue this in the season. Lane Hutson was looking slick out there tonight. I really like the way he looked tonight. Man, he's a sick player. But anyways, guys, welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. As usual, it is always very, very humbling. Now, I wanted to first talk about Evgeny Kuznetsov. I'm going to talk about a couple insider reports here and one major one in a little bit. But the first one is Evgeny Kuznetsov. Apparently, he is not signing with the Canadiens. Even Marco D'Amico did quote tweet this, and he's talking about he's not signing with the Montreal Canadiens. I'm okay with this. Honestly, from the Leafs' point of view, I don't really know why they're even going after Kuznetsov. I think that they have better options too. Honestly, if it was between Kuznetsov and Dach, I don't know about you guys. Even though Dach is a little bit injury prone, I would probably give that to Dach. Maybe the Montreal Canadiens before, because Evgeny Kuznetsov was somebody that the Canadiens were actually interested in. Perhaps they viewed it as insurance in case Dach gets injured, and in that way it actually might make sense. I'm kind of interested in exactly what he's going to get paid though. Do you understand what I mean? Like what's this guy going to get paid? Maybe if it was a league minimum I might consider it, but I think that Kuznetsov is a little bit washed right now in my opinion. And listen, man, if the Montreal Canadiens are going to go after a veteran center, why not go all the way? Why not go for another veteran center in Evgeny Malkin? But preferably, I would prefer if they go after Sid the Kid. As you know, I have been talking a lot about the Canadiens and Sidney Crosby. I think it actually makes a lot of sense. And I'm telling you right now, why wouldn't he actually go to this team? Okay, why not? It all equals 2 + 2 = 4 in here, guys. And I'm telling you right now, this is a guy that I think is destined to be a Montreal Canadien. And this quote happened about a week ago from Elliotte Friedman, but I'm telling you, man, I've been thinking about this quote, and I think that Elliotte Friedman is bang on here, and I always tell you guys that Elliotte Friedman is probably one of the better insiders, and he is really, really plugged in with the game, so this guy knows exactly what he's talking about. And here we have the quote. Elliotte Friedman regarding Sidney Crosby. I know the Montreal speculation has exploded. I don't think it's impossible. If he agreed to be traded, I think Montreal would be on a very short list of teams he'd be willing to consider. Close quote. Yes. So I'm telling you, what I've been saying this entire time is fact that if he gets traded, he's probably going to become a Canadian. Now, I know there was speculation with Alexander Barkov going down that perhaps perhaps he could go to Florida. Can you imagine if this guy goes to Florida? I don't think so. I don't think that would happen. I think, like I said before, I think he would look much better in a Canadiens jersey. I think that's where he should probably end up. But there was speculation of, since they lost Barkov, they lost a center. Barkov, by the way, is out for the entire season. And then perhaps Sidney Crosby could go there. Now, I wanted to touch on something from my video. I want to shift gears away from the Sidney Crosby stuff, and I wanted to touch on David Reinbacher and David Reinbacher's trade value. And here's the thing. We have not seen this player play a lot. We just haven't. And I'm not saying that the Habs should trade Reinbacher. I'm just saying it's something that they should at least entertain. And I'll tell you why. They need to get a center who, by the way, Mason McTavish has re-signed with the Ducks, so rest in peace to that ever happening. Although, man, that deal looks really good. $7 million, I think it's like 6 years, $7 million. That's a great deal for Mason McTavish. I think the Ducks got a good one there. But again, even if you take Mason McTavish and you put him out, Reinbacher can help you fetch a centerman that you need, okay? I think he can. Now, I think that if you are going to trade David Reinbacher, I'm going to admit a couple of things. Number one, it's risky. There's no doubt about it. I'm not saying David Reinbacher's awful. I'm not saying he's garbage. I'm just saying he seems to be injury prone to me. He seems to be a guy that gets injured a lot, and it's getting frustrating watching the Canadiens and this guy who does have a lot of talent, just not be able to put it together. Now, I want to be clear. I want to be crystal clear. If you trade Reinbacher, you better be on board with getting a lot for him. I'm an advocate of them boosting his trade value. So he has a broken finger, a broken hand. That'll take a month to heal. He'll be able to skate and practice. That's not that bad. He's not even actually going to miss that much of Laval's season. So he goes down to Laval, and let's say he plays 35 games. Let's say he has 27 points. He's having a really good season there. He's showing that he's healthy. What do you do in that situation? Do you trade him? Do you boost his value and do you trade him? Or do you say, let's wait it out. We want this guy to be a right shot defenseman. And here we have a very interesting quote. On a recent episode of the podcast, The Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro, Nicholas Kluche stated that the 20-year-old Austrian defenseman has everything it takes to play in the NHL right now, and that Kent Hughes would have no difficulty trading him at all. Very interesting. The quote continues, if David Reinbacher is in the market, the other 31 teams are going to call Kent Hughes, close quote. I'm going to put my hat in the ring and say I wouldn't be completely against this simply because of what the Montreal Canadiens could get back. Now, am I willing to trade him for, Sidney Crosby? Heck no. David Reinbacher is a young player. Yes, he's injury prone, but he still does have a level of value. I'm not just going to trade him for absolutely nothing, but I believe that you need to at least entertain this. A lot of people are, he's gotten injured. Like, it's not all bad luck here. I don't think it's all bad luck, and maybe I went off a little bit too much in my last video, but I think it's more than bad luck when it comes to David Reinbacher, and the Montreal Canadiens need to explore all options. When you're improving your team to win a cup and rebuild, you need to explore all options on the market, especially when they need a center as badly as they do. And here we have a really interesting quote of his production here. Last season with the Laval Rocket, he scored 5 points in 10 games plus 6 points in 13 AHL playoff games. And it is quite interesting to me how this player is performing. Again, we have a very small data set. What do we have, like 30 games maybe that he's played in the American Hockey League? It's a very small data set. But it is promising that he's on pace for about 40 points. He's only 20 years old in the American Hockey League. It does make you a little bit nervous to trade a player like this because it kind of worries you. Like, what if he turns out to be a proper top 4 defenseman? Now, on the other hand, they do have another good defenseman in Noah Dobson. He's a top pair guy. I'm just saying that, even though I understand that this it always holds risks when you're trading a 6'3", 207-pound right-hand shot defenseman that was drafted 5th overall. Okay? But I'm saying if the Montreal Canadiens can get fair value or at least market value for this player, it's something that I would explore and consider. That's my take. Anyways, guys, I am going to leave this video here. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.